India has set one of the most aggressive green targets in the world. By 2030, the goal is to electrify nearly 80% of two-wheelers and 30% of private cars and putting millions of EVs on Indian roads. As of early 2026, the progress is visible. EV sales have crossed over 2 million units annually and the public charging networks has expanded nearly 5 folds in 3 years. But here's the reality check. India is still falling short of trajectory needed to meet its 2030 ambition. This isn't just a technology challenge anymore. It's turning into a global race for critical minerals. At the center of the race is cobalt, often called blue gold. It plays a key role in high-performance EV batteries. India has no significant domestic cobalt supply, which means we depend heavily on imports, especially from the Democratic Republic of Congo, which produces around 70% of world's cobalt. But mining is only half the story. The real control lies in processing, and that's where China dominates, refining nearly 75 to 80% of global cobalt. Recently, China's export restrictions on critical minerals have made one thing clear. India's EV ambition are deeply vulnerable to global supply chain disruptions. It's no longer just about energy, it's about strategic dependency. To reduce this dependency, India is pivoting towards alternative battery technologies. First, LFP, lithium iron phosphate batteries. They are cheaper, safer, and don't use cobalt. But they are heavier and offer shorter driving range. Then there's sodium ion batteries, built using abundant materials like salt. They promise lower cost and easier scalability, but as of 2026, sodium ion is still in its early commercial stage. And here's the reality. For long-range vehicles, SUVs, heavy-duty transports, cobalt-based batteries are still hard to replace. There is no perfect solution. Every battery technology solves one problem and creates another. The barriers aren't just technological, they're also economic and political. And consumer affordability still remains a concern. While premium EV options are expanding, many middle-class buyers still worry about high upfront costs, insurance premiums, and long-term battery value. And on the global stage, India is trying to secure mineral access through initiatives like overseas mining partnerships, but faces intense competitions from major economies. Look at the money. The government is spending 18,100 crores to make India a battery powerhouse. On paper, we have approved 40 units of production capacity. But here is the reality. Right now, in 2026, only one of those units is actually working. Think about that. We are building a massive expensive factories, but we haven't secured the groceries, the lithium and cobalt to actually make anything. It's like building a car before you have even found the fuel. We have the buildings, but without a steady supply of minerals, these factories are just expensive empty shells. This is creating a massive squeeze on the whole industry. India's EV transition is happening, but it's more complex than it looks. This is no longer just a climate story. It's about supply chain, geopolitics, and economic strategy. The shift to electric is real, but it's not as fast or as simple as it was promised. The race for 2030 is on, and the road ahead is powered not just by batteries but by critical minerals.